You have Dame Victoria Sharp, Dame Karen Stein, and Sir Jonathan Swift. On any ordinary day, these are senior, experienced, serious judges. In a case like this, with this subject matter and this level of political exposure, they're something else entirely. They're exactly the kind of judges the state relies on when a case threatens the government's interests in foreign policy, national security, or the arms industry. And once you understand the track record sitting behind those names, you understand why removing Chamberlain and replacing him with this panel is not a neutral act, it's a structural response. Let's start with Swift, because he's the most obvious example of how the judiciary absorbs the instincts of the institutions it has served. Before becoming a judge, he spent years as the government's first Treasury counsel, the barrister the Home Office and other departments used whenever they needed to defeat public law challenges on detention or deportations or surveillance or intelligence, anything of that sort, anything that touched national security or executive discretion. If you ever tried to take the state to court on a matter the state didn't want examined, Swift was the sort of person standing there arguing that the courts should not interfere. That career doesn't vanish the moment you put on a robe, it forms the entire legal instinct. And you see that instinct clearly in the Assange appeal, for example, where he ruled against allowing further grounds to be heard and sided squarely with the position advanced by the same state whose interests he spent years defending. So this isn't a question of impropriety, it's a question of public confidence. Because when you put the state's former national security barrister in charge of a case about whether the Home Office misused terrorism powers to suppress protest against arms exports, anyone looking at that bench instantly sees the structural alignment. A judge who spent a decade protecting the state from scrutiny is not the judge the public would expect to examine whether the state has stretched its powers beyond the law, is it? Then you move to Stein, whose ruling in the F-35 challenge earlier this year. She was the judge who replaced Chamberlain then too, so she's now replaced him twice. She's already shaped the political landscape this case now sits in, therefore.